stem cells, dear stem cell placenta, the relay. Guess what? He started to name his even grandsons by name. The problem was, even those persons who paid him $2,000,
He remembers.
he remembered them, even the cents. That's why I said, why did you let him drink? We could have been free from paying him. So that's the only problem. And HA improves skin texture, brightness with intense moisture and balance. And by the way, HA is nature's moisturizer. The reason why we use a lot of moisturizer, ladies and gentlemen, is because the oil in our skins are dry and we don't have the nutrients to let it develop again. But with this is the good news for you. It helps to lubricate and maintain normal joint cushioning. People with arthritis, in 3 days time, in a week's time, you'll see the difference. Like I have one position of my right knee when sometimes, it's so excruciating, just asleep, I feel the pain. But when I was in Manila, I was rushing, running, because I want to overtake when the gate was changed to another gate. Before me was a 19-year-old. Probably I was just excited because her legs were so wide. No, I'm just kidding. But we were rushing. My goodness, I was rushing. We were walking onto the station. We reached the door. What was that? 2 minutes. We reached the door. Guess what? I never felt the pain. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, HA is good for hair. People out here will regrow hair. Okay?
Wow.
Honest. People with white hair.
You are looking at me.
Two of you.
Will become black. So anyway, that's dendrobium. I have to go rush. Okay, that's how they harvest dendrobium. That's why it's very expensive. Now, by the way, let's go to the intake.
Yeah.
Remember, this is 6 months. The first month, we have to bolus everything in your body. We have to put all the nutrients in your body in the first month. Because that's where it's at. So, you take 2 capsules in the evening, in the morning, and 2 in the evening. The bottle is 60 caps. So that means 1 bottle is only 15 days. But in 15 days, I can guarantee results already. Okay? Second bottle, you will feel like the turbo is open in your body. That's how I felt after 30 days. Wow!
Oh.
So, you have 2 bottles to take. On the second, third, fourth, and fifth, sixth, you have only to take 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening until. So 7 bottles. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 bottles. That's all you need. Now, if you want to maintain, probably 1 cup a day. Because anyway, 1 bottle is 60, so 2 months. So, anyway, thank you so much for your time and the safety. These are all the certificates. We have halal certificates. We have manufacturer certificates. And by the way, we finally manufacture it in Singapore. So it's from New Zealand. We moved to Singapore because we have to add more nutrients.
Yeah.
Now it's 12 nutrients, okay? So, all of this, those are the certificates. And of course, in the Philippines, we have FDA. In all parts of Asia, Malaysia, we have all of this. And ladies and gentlemen, since we'll be introducing here in the US, we want to see results first. So, thank you so much for your time. Do you have questions before I end? Yes.
How much it costs?
Okay.
You have to tell us.
In Philippines, we sell it for 135,000 pesos, but an equivalent exchange is like 50, 52, 53. So it's like $2,800 for the whole treatment versus 5,000 with injection.
Okay. 2,000.
2008 for the 7. And by the way, there's testimonies here. So this is Dr. Olarte. That's before. See, that's the changes that he has. And how was this guy? That's me on the left, and that's me on the right, and that's me now. 3 months.
Wow. Was that criminal there?
Was that criminal? What?
I
I was held in China for 20 minutes.
That's why you were
And I was thinking, oh, probably she has a crush on me. So I went there. I said, "Ma'am, any problem?" She said, "You don't look like your age. Give me another ID." I gave her my driver's license, California. She said, wow, everything's correct except your face. I said, why?
I
You
changed,
know, you don't look like your age.
I changed my face.
Yeah, you don't look like your age. So brothers and sisters, friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. If you want to know more about this, we have Lyra here.
Yes.
And we have
Blossom.
Blossom,
Jim.
Jim, and Lily. So just talk to them, okay? Thank you so much. God bless.
So you don't make it in China?
No.
Singapore.
It's in
divided by
it's
6.
New Zealand, and then Singapore for the final.
Excuse me, do we need to buy for 6 months all at once?
You can start with, I will tell you, just 2 bottles, just 1 month.
And how much is that?
2 bottles is $380 each, $760.
That's cheaper.
How much?
Yeah, I think that's more
762
affordable.
bottles.
More bottles,
Yeah,
2,000.
more doable.
But if you finish 6 months, everything that you are taking now, medications, all that will be gone.
So where can we get those from, Lily?
Yeah, just order from her.
Yeah.
We will, this is how we work.
Okay.
It has also a business plan, but later on. You can just schedule me next time.
Okay.
What's the name of the company?
Reway.
Out.
Okay, the company's name is Right Way, Reway,
Where is it?
Right.
Ryway?
Hold on.
It's nice.
It's called RIWAY, Reway Company.
RIW.
RIWAY.
.com.
It's called Right Way, the right way to do it.
Right way.
And they call it pure tier.
Yeah,
Placenta
I've
is
heard about
It's
that.
called pure deer.
Oh.
But they cannot pronounce the Chinese.
Oh, the Chinese
Pure
pure
tier.
tier.
Fly. No, I'm just kidding. But that's how they do it. It's comes from
It's
deer. So
nice,
it's
yeah.
pure deer.
Fragrant
placenta.
purple. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice, thank
But
you.
please, sometime I can discuss more.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Dangerous. Yeah, just like remember the word manager, remove the ma, and what's left is my name.
I heard Angel.
Sorry. It's okay.
Oh, it's interesting.
Take off the S and you have name.
That's better.
Oh, okay.
Until not come because I was going to college.
Kita ko lang yung sample. Nandun si Lira. This is the bottle. See?
Are you tasting already?
Placenta.
First na. Gawin mo nang dalawa. Wag muna.
You wanna introduce your product?
No, for you only. No, for you only first. Oh, okay, it's not ready.
Thank
We
you,
don't have
natural.
the...
Natural.
We come back.
Natural, right?
Oh,
Natural.
Nature. Yeah.
So, give us
No,
send
we
you
have
the,
another- we have
whatever,
another skincare.
email.
Yeah.
We can email you the product details. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
anyone, please
Yeah.
approach us later
Yeah.
after the program. So the next presenter is I'm gonna give to you Dennis. He's gonna present what are you
Unincorporated.
Unincorporated
But before I do
Association.
that, I want to bring up my friend.
Oh yeah, Al.
Before we go into that, I want to do a little prediction. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to do my.
So by the way, this is a financial solution again that we offer. So we have awesome.
We're going to be
awesome
getting into that. So
businesses.
we got a lot of people here. So I want to get a couple of numbers from you, from 2 through 9. Just 2 numbers. 2 and 7. 2 and 7. Give me 2 numbers.
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Okay, so I want you to hold this in your book over here so nobody can mess with it. All right? Now you give me 2 numbers.
4 and 9.
4 and 9. How about you give me 2 numbers?
7 and 6.
Okay, now I get to put a cover or something. Let me see here. You give me two numbers.
8 and 1.
Two numbers from you.
Me?
Yeah.
5 5.
5 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting numbers down. Okay, let's add that up, okay? 5 and 6, 11, 16, 19, 23, correct?
Yeah.
5, 12, 17, 19, 23, correct?
Yes.
9 and 9, 18, 19, 20, 28, correct? Oh, wait a minute.
No.
Should be 27. 27, correct? 2 over. 4 and 4, 8 and 8, 16,
21.
21, 22. So, I got 22733, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you take out that number and that ordered thing that I gave you and start reading from left to right?
22733,
Correct? Sure?
correct?
22733.
Yeah.
Man, that's great.
Very good.
Whatever you did. You are Majid Mana?
That was my prediction.
Okay.
I work with numbers. Okay, so anyway, here's what I want to do. Where's my friend Al?
He's in the bathroom.
He's in. Okay, so in the meantime, what I'm going to do is just give you a brief introduction, and then Al will jump up here and tell you more. I don't want to take a lot of time. I got held up because I was opening a bank account for a lady that was supposed to be there at 5, didn't show up till 6:15. I had to hold the banker over time. What I do is an entity called an unincorporated nonprofit association. How many people have heard of unincorporated nonprofit associations? Are the people who come in here? If you're new here, you've never heard of it, have you? What is the benefit of having one of these? The benefit of having one of these is that it protects your assets from anybody taking it away from you.
Is it trust?
Nobody can touch it. A trust has flaws. So let me tell you what the flaws in a trust are. If you do a trust, you are the trustor, you put your asset in there, you become the trustee, and your family is the beneficiary. So you're the trustor, you put your asset, you're controlling it, and your family is the beneficiary. Right? This is not good because the alphabet boys can come in and say, isn't this really you? You own the property, you control it, your family gets it when you die. The only thing you avoid with a trust is probate.
Probate.
Okay? But what happens is when you pass away, they have to change this. As the young lady over here has got about 20 of them from me. All right? And because she's got a lot of people that are protecting their assets by using it. Pastor Mariano and Duke have one as well. Al has a whole bunch of them. Al, who's going to talk in a minute, he's a friend, and he used to be an ex-bank. He used to buy these from the attorneys for about $30,000 to $40,000 each for the banks. The value is there. The insurance that nobody can take your property away from you is what you want to understand. All right? So, in this is the problem. In an unincorporated nonprofit association, you don't have trustees, you don't have beneficiaries. All we have is a secretary. The secretary is in control of it. There are no shares to it. Nobody owns shares. Your social security number is not used to get the tax ID number.
Okay.
the tax ID number is exempt. You understand what that means? He's got nothing. I don't want to take the case. You understand? So, the whole idea that you want to do is protect your assets that you worked hard for. You worked hard to get these assets. Do you want somebody to take them away from you?
No.
And some people go, well, yeah, but I put it in my son's or my daughter's name. What happens if they get into an accident? It's not in my name, it's in my family's name. Great. What happens if they get into an accident? So you need to be aware of how you're going to protect your assets for future. So let me give you some real quick stuff. Hey there, Peter.
Hi, Dennis. Good to see you again.
Peter had the greatest question for me. Right? I'm not going to bring it up, Peter. Okay. So anyway, what I do, the first thing I do is get a tax ID number that has nothing to do with your Social Security number, and it's a 575E from the IRS. Then I send in the documentation as president. I send in the documentation to the state. The state records this, and the state puts a handwritten number up there. As you can see, it's a handwritten number, so nobody can go find it online. This is private. Now you understand the difference between public and private? Everything that you're doing right now is under your Social Security number. Everything you do is tied to you through that Social Security number, and that's in the public. Anybody can find out everything you have based on that. But when I put stuff into this, they can't find this. Why? This information is on a 3x5 card and is stored in a file cabinet in the basement of the Secretary of State's office in Sacramento. So it's private. You cannot go online and find it. In fact, I had an interesting situation just today. I had a couple call me up. They got an association, and it's called Cinco Terra. 5 lands. Cinco Terra. Now, 5 lands. They came back and they go, Cinco Terra is owned by somebody else, and you know, and I said, no, send it to me. So they sent it to me. And it says, Cinco Terra Owners Association. I said, do you understand? Owners Association is not part of your Cinco Terra. Cinco Terra is yours. Owners Association takes it into a whole nother realm. They are a public corporation working under the IRS. I don't. The IRS gave me a number. The state of California gave me a registration saying that I am certified to do business anywhere in the country. And so I have the certificate from the state, and then I have the banking resolutions that allow you to open bank accounts and do everything, and then I give you permission to work on behalf of this, and then I resign as president. Once I resign as president, I appoint you to be the secretary, and now you're in charge of it, but you do not own it. Okay? So not owning it is what you want to be, but you want to control it. Now let me give you an example. What happens if I wanted to sell my car? Tom, right? Tom wanted to buy my car. He'd have to go down to the DMV and change it to his name. So he's got to pay the tax and registration and everything and change the name. But if he wanted to buy my car and I sold him my association in which the car is, so now what happens is the only thing he has to do, because he bought the association, he did not buy the car. The car belongs to the association. So he didn't buy the car, he bought the association. So all he has to do is send a change of address to the DMV and say, I want the address change and the name of the person controlling it. Okay? So there is no transfer fees. We didn't transfer the property. All we did was change the address and the person controlling it. Name and address of the person controlling it.
And if he's, oh, go ahead.
If you had a question, go ahead.
After he buy, to change his name, and if he want to sell someone else, what?
He can sell it, he can take it out of the association and sell it, or he can sell the association to the next person. All I have to do is give him a certified document that I resigned as secretary and appointed him as secretary. So now he's in control of it.
So he gets
And
two
then you know.
items.
Oh,
Yeah, he gets two items. He gets the car and the
And the
association.
association. Well,
He just paid for the car.
but not B&B.
he doesn't have to.
Oh, I
Just-
see.
Just
what you
record,
mean.
just
Okay,
record.
I see.
Same thing with a house. My house is in here. See, my house is in
That's great. How do you come up with that idea? That's a brilliant idea.
That's why I get paid big bucks. No. Okay, so here's the thing. So the first thing I do when I apply for the tax ID is to get the 575E. E stands for exempt, okay? The next thing I do is register it. After I register it, I then turn it over whoever wants to buy it. I have about 20 of them already done. So if you want one, you can have it tomorrow.
Wow.
Dennis, hi.
That's okay.
Can you also clarify that you can sell the UA without the property or the automobile because they thought it's included?
Oh, no. The property, the UA is by itself, it's standalone. You simply do quick claim deed or a grant deed and transfer your property into it. And there's a zero transfer fee because you're doing it for the benefit of the grantor and grantee. It goes in there for asset protection purposes, financial planning purposes. There's no fee that is charged. Don't worry about my bringing it in. Okay? So once you have done that, the property now belongs to the association. And if anybody is coming after you, they can't touch it. Now here's the car that I'm driving right now, the Highlander. As you can see, my name is not on there. It's a TLC Trust Association.
Oh, wow.
Okay? That's who owns it. But I have a document saying I'm authorized to drive it. And I can have 4, 5, 6 people authorized to drive it.
Who gives you the authority?
So it's like a rental car. I don't know that. Okay, all I do is pay the yearly fees and that's it. Okay? Now, this is a very interesting document. This is a gentleman that Al knows and I know. He does $30 million a year in business. Okay? He owns 50% of this business. He makes about $120,000 every month, 30, 40, give or take 10, 15,000. And he's got about 7 of these associations. So when they, from 2010 to now, all his money goes into the association. Okay? And then he splits it up. His wife has an association, the kids have an association, and each one of his other businesses and cars all are in association. Now, at the end of the year, besides his 120, 30,000 that he makes every month, he gets a K1 distribution, 50% of the profit. And the 50% of the profit is $1.042 million. $1.042 million is his distribution, his share of the profit of that association. Okay? So, the beauty of it is, it went into Living Water, which is an unincorporated nonprofit association. Now, here's the beauty. What does it say here? Exempt organization. So he saved 39.6% in income tax. Exempt organization. 39.6%. $396,000 in income tax he put in his pocket. Yeah? Can't. It doesn't belong to him. Okay? So the basic concept of this is once you take an association, put your property into it, nobody can touch it.
A while ago, you said the secretary would not take over.
The secretary comes, if you wanted it, you buy it. The secretary is in charge. You're the secretary, you're in charge of it, and you can do whatever
So
you
the
want to do.
president resigns and he's still secretary?
Pardon?
The president, you are the president.
I
right?
resign and make you the secretary. Yeah. I do.
So once you purchase the UA, you're
Yeah.
gonna be the owner. You are
Yeah,
the owner.
the
And you
Right.
are the officer.
See, I
And
give
I'm also
you.
the secretary?
You are the officer, either president, treasurer, or secretary, but you own the UA.
Okay.
No, you don't own it.
Nobody
you
owns it.
control it.
I mean, whether
Yeah.
Yes,
owns
you
it.
not
The president and
controls
secretary is the same
everything,
person?
right?
You can be chief cook and bottle washer both at the same time. Okay. So what I'm saying
The
is
secretary is
the
important.
secretary is the
Secretary
most
controls.
important person.
But what I'm saying,
We're the same person, right?
he owns that UA. In
Well,
his
in a
possession.
sense, you own it in a sense that you control it.
Yeah.
But you don't own it in a sense that there are no shares. It owns itself.
Yeah, you have to clarify that the UA, the package, he has it.
He has it.
in
He
possession.
has it in it.
Yes, so
Right.
that's his.
Right. It's like if I came over and I gave you a gold coin and I say, here, control it.
Yes,
It's in your hand, you control it.
yeah.
But you don't own it, it's mine.
Now
I
you
gave
can,
it to you to
can
hold.
give your house
Yeah.
into that.
Wow.
But can that
Okay.
be, is it only for the US or outside? You can also do
You
it
can
for-
use it anywhere else that as long as any corporation can buy or sell properties or whatever it is in another country, as long as it have a registered with the state and you have a tax ID number, you're good to go. Right? So here's the registration that resignation. I give you a resignation. I resigned as president. I give you the authority to assign anybody as president. If you want to remember this, the president is not like a corporate president. You own nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you assign the president doesn't have as much as the secretary. The secretary is the primary executive officer in full control of the association, but they don't own it.
My question was, a while ago, they're the same person, right? I mean, the secretary and the president who resigned, they are the same person.
No.
If you can be you can be the president as well if you wanted
Because
to.
if I assign it to another person, then that person will control it.
No,
you have to be-
no. You can make Jim your president.
Yeah.
He doesn't control it. The secretary controls.
Also, I come in, when I buy my UA, I become the secretary.
I appoint you to be secretary. I give you a document that the duties of the secretary is to buy, sell, and do business on behalf of the association. You sign it and have it notarized. Now, can he walk in and say he's in control? No, you are.
Just a secretary.
That's why I give you this document. Nobody else can come in and do that until you give this up and somebody wants to take it over. Then you say, I resign as secretary and I'm appointing you as secretary, and give him a notarized document. Now he controls it.
Question. Does the property have to be free and clear before it's transferred?
Not necessarily. Okay? Now, most people go, well, if you transfer property and it's not free and clear, then there's a due on sale clause.
Right,
Right?
right.
No. The Gaunt-Saint Germain Act prevents that when you put it in for financial planning purposes. You put it in to a trust, an association, or any other financial planning purpose, there's no due on sale clause.
So the lender will not come back and say, put it back on.
No, they can't. The Gaunt-Saint Germain Act prevents them from saying, put it back in your name. Because remember, you're the one who signed the agreement that you're going to make the payments,
Right.
right? So just because it's in the name of the association doesn't mean that you're relieved of making the
Right.
payments. You're still making the payments. If they want to foreclose on you, they can foreclose on you. That's a whole nother story that I get into, and I tell you, every foreclosure that you need to know, every foreclosure that's done is done with fraud.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I can prove it. Okay?
Oh, that's why you come to the picture.
Yeah. That's how we got together with Dennis.
We will tell you.
Yeah, they were introduced to me, and I said, you know, when you signed your note, the first thing you did was sign the note.
Right.
The notary public made sure you signed the note first. Why did he have you sign the note first? Because the moment you sign the note, you own the property free and clear. How do you know that? Okay? I can show you the black and white documents. But everybody, like I said, has a social security number. They know this. Everything you do is tied to your social security number. If that's the case, what do they need this number for? Does everybody know that? There's a number on the back of your social security card.
It's in red, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? That's your Treasury direct account. That means that the Treasury has a major account for you. And every time you sign your name, they take money from that account.
You are a corporation.
Give it to the other side. They give the money to the other side and say, we gave you a loan. Okay? And that's done this way. See, here's what happens. When you go to the mortgage company and apply for a mortgage, the mortgage company gives it to the bank, Bank of New York. That's the Treasury, Federal Reserve Bank. They will take the money from here. The money comes in from the Fed against your Social Security number. They take the money, they give it to the bank then gives it to the title company writes a check to the seller and says, we gave you a loan. But the originating bank is your name. The originating bank, that's your name. Because the money came out of your Treasury direct account. And how do I know that's true? I pulled up a document called the MoneyNet Daily Transaction Log Report 128. That shows that the money came from the Fed, went into the bank, and it came out of your Treasury direct account, went to the bank, and they said, we gave you a loan.
What was the name of the report?
MoneyNet Daily Transaction Log Report number 128. MoneyNet Daily Transaction Log.
And actually, when you're born, that's what you become a corporation, right?
Right. The moment you.
And that's what I didn't want to. That's what I didn't want to give you a check when you receive the Social Security, because they say how much you are worth it since you're born on it until now, because they don't want you to know how much you're worth it, right?
So now let me give you something else. Now, why did they have you sign the note first? Because you own the property, right?
That's right.
Then they have you sign the deed. And the deed says this: borrower covenants. What's a covenant? A covenant is a solemn promise. A covenant, right? And the covenant says, borrower covenants, that borrower is lawfully seized, and that's SEISED. And Old Black's Law Dictionary says it's a freehold estate. It's paid for free and clear. Now you're signing this document saying that you are lawfully seized of this property, and that the property and that the property is unencumbered. What does unencumbered mean? Has nothing, no liens or anything against it, right? And that you will further guarantee the title against all claims. If you are buying this property with a loan, how can you sign a document saying that the property is free and clear, you own it free and clear, there are no encumbrances, and that you guarantee the title? How do you do that? But you signed the document. Each and every one of you who bought the house including me, I didn't know it at that time, sign the document. If you don't sign this document, you don't get the house. This says to the bank that since you are giving this to them, this is called a confession of judgment or a cognobit note that you sign. You give it to the bank, and the bank says, thank you. Because why? You're going to now make payments to us. Your payments are going, here's what happens. You went and got a mortgage. The bank took your mortgage. That's called monetizing. When they take your mortgage and go to your account, take the cash, and give it to the other side, they monetized your note. That's what they did. So they monetized your note, and then the bank went over and they took your note and monetized it 10, 15, 20 times more. How do I know they do that? Where's the time? Oh, it's over here. How do I know they did that? Right here. See this? Every one of this is bundling it and selling it again. Bundling it and selling it again. And this is just 4 times. Most of the times they'll do it 15 and 20 times. Okay? So, here's what you need to understand. And I'm not taking a lot of time, but here's what you need to understand. So the bank sold it many, many, many times, and they got money. First of all, they used your money to give the other side and said, we gave you a loan. Then they bundled it and sold it many times and made money. Now they sell your deed to NMSA. That's the National Mortgage Servicing Association, and these people are collecting your money because nobody is making payments to the bank. They're making it to a servicing company. The servicing company is doing this. They keep a piece of your money. They give the banker a piece of your money, and each and every one who bought these securities get a piece of your money. As long as you're willing to pay to them, they're going to take it. And if you don't do it, what happens? Foreclosure, right? Yeah. But these guys are sitting there waiting patiently for one of 3 things to happen. Number 1, you refi. Why? Because the property value went up, so you go and refi. Or number 2, you sell. Number 3 is foreclosure. Any one of these 3 things happen, a new bank comes in to finance these people who are taking that property, and this scam starts all over again.
Wow.
So the scam keeps going round and round and round.
And you keep on paying and paying.
And you keep on paying and paying and paying.
Well, you
So that's
did
what-
promise to
Actually, you
pay.
never
Huh?
own that.
You did promise to pay. You cannot leave.
You
free.
promised to pay for something that money came out of your own pocket.
Well, we didn't have the money to begin with.
Huh?
I mean,
It came out of
mean,
your Treasury Direct
yeah,
account.
that somebody else is controlling. That is not. We are
The
not.
government
controlling.
controls it.
Yeah, right.
So Dennis, is that why, like, when I refied my home first time, next thing you know, there's a new bank name, there's a new servicer. So wait, what happened to the old servicer? That's doing what you're saying. That's
What I'm
they're
saying,
doing.
yeah. It just keeps going round and round and round. Okay?
So you're saying that we could put a stop to the scam by not paying anyone?
Well, if you don't pay, they're going to foreclose on you.
Yeah, for sure.
And we
Okay.
can foreclose on us?
But if they foreclose on you, then you come to us and we say, okay, where's the documents that you're going to foreclose with? Remember this, the bank officer's handbook on, the judge's handbook on predatory lending and wrongful foreclosure states the deed without the note has no bearing to foreclose. Okay? So, where is the note? Remember, I showed you that stamp over and over and over again? Every time they stamp it, they altered your note, and because it's altered, it's void. So they can't bring it back into court.
So you're
When-
talking about houses, cars,
Everything.
buildings,
Everything that you signed a note for. So once this has been done, it's been monetized, it's been sold, and now they're going to foreclose. So when they go to foreclose, they bring in documents that look exactly like the original. The only problem is they all have these pink lines. All these documents have pink lines. As you can see here, all of these documents have pink lines. Okay? And I can show you loads and loads and loads of pink lines on the documents. What are the pink lines? The pink lines are when the title company sits on the computer and uses the mouse to grab your signature and go put it over here. And they grab the notary's signature and put it over here. And every time they do this, a pink line is left forever. Forever. And we can pull that up.
With a special computer. Special equipment.
It takes a special machine, a very expensive machine that says that. So then we go in and we say, Your Honor, there has been extrinsic fraud that we can prove. This fraud was committed not just on me, but you, the court, by the attorneys, by the bank, by the trustees, by the services. All of them gathered together, and there was a conspiracy to defraud me of my house. And you need to be able to do that. And we have a gentleman who's got a very good lawsuit that helps people to do that. In fact, we just got a new house back to the lady in Los Angeles on April 18th.
Wow.
From 2007, every one of the documents was reversed for her. They've seen it.
Tita, did you hear that, Tita? She lost
Okay.
her house.
So it doesn't really matter how many years ago they took your foreclosure.
No, there's no time limit for
There's no
fraud.
time limit. Oh.
For fraud. So basically, what I want you to understand is protect your assets. Whatever you earned, don't let somebody else take it from you. If by chance you're getting foreclosed on, there's a remedy. Now it's not cheap, but you can get your house back. Okay, maybe not your house back, but you might get a good settlement.
Plus the damages, right?
Right, damages and the value of your house.
100%.
It could run anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 maybe for the whole thing over a period of time. But it starts out with about $6,000. And first we have to do an analysis of your documents. We always say, send your documents in. We need the original note, the deed, the trustee sale, all of those documents. And Lily has a list of all the documents. And she can collect all of those documents for like $250. And we charge about $1,000 to get all of that sent over to Mickey. And they do the quick analysis of this, and they come up with, oh yeah, there's a lot of fraudulent documentation over here.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So there's a good chance that now, I want you to know, there's no guarantee on anything. I can't guarantee I'm going to be here tomorrow. Okay? In fact, I'll tell you, I'm surprised I'm here today. You know what happened to me yesterday? I got in the shower about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have this special soap. I have heard of Dr. Bronner's pastel soap, right? Well, I put it in a pump, right? And the pump gets jammed up. Well, I got in the shower, I took my loofah, I put it there, and I pushed down. It hit the loofah, went right into my eye. I got so blind I couldn't even see anything. Okay? For 20 minutes I was sitting there with water, running water, saline solution, everything. Then I went over to some people's house, and I was like this all the time. I said, look, I'm not winking at you guys, okay? Guys, stay away from me. Girls, it's okay. But I said, guys, stay away. I'm not winking at you. I was like this all day, all night. Finally, about 11, 12 o'clock, it started to calm down. I was able to sleep. This morning I woke up and my eye was stuck together. I had to push it open, and you can see it's still kind of swollen a little bit, and it's still. I'm putting the drops in my eye every like 20 minutes, a half hour or so, and clearing it up. Okay, but I'm telling you, I was surprised. But that's what I'm saying. There's no guarantee that we're all going to be doing anything tomorrow. So here's the thing. What we're able to do is show you how to protect yourself. That's number one. You need to protect your assets. Your cars, your property, your businesses, everything. Last year we were in Puerto Vallarta and bought a property over there. I needed another association, so I sat on the computer. I did Vallarta Lifestyles. I registered it with the state while I was in Mexico. I registered it with the IRS because you do it on a computer. I registered it. I got my friend to get a tax ID number that had nothing to do with me. So now I control it, but I don't own it.
That's Maria.
No, this is a gentleman that was looking for. Hey, Larry. Tomorrow, no. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Tijuana. Okay, I'm getting five caps put on. Right, let's talk. We can talk tomorrow, though. Okay. Okay.
He's so in demand.
Yeah.
This guy.
Just a lot
So,
of difference.
so the things that I want to tell you is this. Okay, that's number one. You want to hook up the computer on here so we can maybe.
Or can we have our own?
Yeah, I want to bring Al up next.
And Dennis, for the UA, can you tell them about they can get a loan, right?
Yeah, well, when you go to open up your, as long as you have a decent credit score,
Excuse me.
when you open up your UA, immediately ask for a credit card. Okay? So now the credit card and the debit card for the UA. So each and every one of them, I have about 30 of them that I control right now. Not all mine, but a lot of people trust me so much. I've got, like that guy who makes, I got one of his accounts that has like 120,000 in it. I'm on there as the president, right? But he's the secretary. But he won't take me off as president because I don't have any authority. He's in control. Okay? But if he's not there, I can control it. So that's why he keeps me on. But I have people who have property. I have their houses. I have their trailer parks in my name, controlling it. Okay? Because they trust me. They know that I'm not going to run away with it. So once you get this credit card, then you use the credit card for everything you purchase because I'm not purchasing gas for me. I'm purchasing it for the association for the car. Okay? I'm not purchasing the gas and electric and the water for my house. I'm purchasing it for the association because the gas and electric bill has my name and the association name. The water bill has my name and the association name. So everything I pay for, I'm paying for the association. And then every 2 weeks I go in, I look at what the association owes, I transfer funds, and I pay it. And I love this card, this bank, because they gave me a zero interest credit for $10,000 for till February next year. And because I've been paying so good, they increased my credit limit another $5,000 and gave me till March of 2020 before at zero interest.
Is that Bank of America?
No, this is U.S. Bank. Bank of America, same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Right. I just was at Bank of America opening an account for my friend, and the one over here in Garden Grove, Son Lee, he knows how to open the account. He's so good, and now he wants to put his business into an association.
Question then is,
Yeah.
let's say you have an association and you are the secretary of that association. Let's say you do any unrelated to association business, let's say trading of some commodities, etc. So that not the money comes, that money can come to the association
Correct.
bank account.
Correct.
And now who owns it? The association.
Association
owns
owns.
that you did that transaction.
Right.
Does it mean it's free and clear basically
From anybody taking it away from you.
including IRS?
Right. I have a guy who does training on Bitcoin. Okay, he gets a crowd like this or bigger. Like and the first thing he tells them is, "Hey guys, I want you to know, I donated gave away all my Bitcoin. I don't own it anymore. He says, there's a non-profit association that holds all my Bitcoin. I don't, but I control it. You guys want to know how to do that? Then let me bring Dennis up.
Okay.
And second question, Dennis. In a
Dennis
typical,
or
in a typical transaction of the property, when you put claim it to the association, now the association basically owns the house.
Correct.
And you do the sales transaction.
Absolutely.
With any third party.
Right. Anybody wants to buy the house, I just sign it. As the secretary, I can sign it off.
You can sign that to them.
Correct.
But that to them is another association?
If they want an association, but if they want to just buy it, they can pay the transfer fees, they can pay the tax, they can do all
so
of
now
that.
they own the title and etc. But as you as a seller.
Remember, that profit goes into the association bank account, and there is no capital gains tax.
Okay. Besides this, because it's not a sales transaction, it's a transfer of title. Now, the 1031 doesn't apply either.
Doesn't apply.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, can you do commercial properties into that? No problem. There's no
Anything,
limitation.
anything.
But you cannot obtain, let's say, mortgage.
Unless you are verifying that, because you have to sign for that. Remember this, the rules, the law states the assets of the association, all the property, cars, everything, and the debts of the association, all the debt that you owe, belongs to the association, not to the officers, members, or agents of the association.
Okay.
Unless you specifically agree to a specific debt or asset in writing.
I see.
So are you crazy enough to say, I'm going to pay this debt or I'm going to pay this? You might say, I own this house, but no, I don't want to say I own the house.
Another question is, since it's a membership based, is that correct? It's membership, right? One entity, you can get any number of members.
You can have a lot of members to it, but there's only one person in control, and that's the secretary.
But you can have foreign entities as a member?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Can you have an entity as a business entity other than personal entity as a member?
Sure. And that's why I'm going to bring Al up now to talk to you about how you can take an association and have corporations underneath. And who owns the corporation? All the shares are sold to or transferred to the association. So now who owns the corporation? The association. Who owns the association? Nobody. It owns itself. Al, can you mind coming up here, Mr. Ex-Banker?
Thank you, Dennis.
Another great speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Give another applause to Dennis. Those guys that under 18, you look under 18, get out of the room. Sorry for 21 and up.
That's the guy where's that guy that was taking this?
Yeah, that'll be her, Blossom, who else? Lily? I guess all the ladies get out.
They're under 18.
Under 18. Thank you, Dennis. Did you share with them about the map?
No, not yet. Not yet.
All right.
If you want to do the map, we can do the map first. Or do you want to do yours first?
I just do mine and then you can.
Yes,
Then we can,
yes.
Yeah, we can wrap it up with the map and the phone.
Okay.
And then the phone, that's...
Yeah, hold on. I have
This is to wake up to do business.
Wake up.
Okay. I'm gonna have
and be aware of what's going on.
So my time tonight, and again, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate your time. You could be somewhere else watching TV, or at home, or taking care of the families, but you guys are here. So give applause to Lily, who's invited you guys. Lily, she cares about you, and so does Jim, because this type of information, we don't share this with a lot of people. Although this information is public knowledge, but not many people go to you and say, hey, let me teach you how to do this. Or we're not going to ask you for money. Tonight, keep your money. We don't need them. We have a lot of money called credit, okay? And we print them, okay? We print them legally. So I'm not gonna talk about like jokes and everything else.
When he talks about printing money legally, I got to tell you the story about this guy who went to jail. And they were asking him, what are you in jail for? He says, making big money. And the guy goes, you got put in jail for making big money? He says, yep, it was a 1/4 inch too big.
I know I'm going to go to jail. If anyone would go to jail with me, it would be me for sharing this information. And Dennis and I have known for a long time. He's one of my trusted friend, and one of the friend that my wife trusts a lot. So, anyhow, make the long story short here. I'm going to go right to the heart of the matter while we're doing it. And I know this is limited time. So what I'm going to do here is that we have several corporations that we control, that we hire, that we develop, and are all ready to go looking for people who we can hire. But see, like anything else, we hire people, like any corporations, we hire them for a few reasons. One of them is they have aptitude of the job, and also their credit. Anywhere you go, anywhere you get, if you want to work for somebody else or a big company, they require you to have excellent.
Sorry.
It's not on vibrate, it's a ringer, then we'll lose money, right? So we want to keep those. All right. So the way we do things is that we have two sections here, and this is what. And Dennis just starts up on that UA, right? Okay. The reason why we use UA is because few reasons. One is that once we donate the funds, if we donate it to you, this is our company, this is our operation, this is your operation right here. Okay? Now the UA, this is actually you. Okay?
Yeah,
yeah, an incorporated association. Okay, so this is, I call this the consulting firm. Okay, and this UA right down here, which is we control, is our temp agency. Okay, so when you control the UA, you're actually working for the UA. Okay, the UA will have its own bank account. Let's say this could be Chase, and you have a ATM with the UA's name and also the your name. Okay, so you work for this company here, and some of those people that I've already shared some information with, they kind of understand this part. Okay, so you, as an individual right here, you work for this UA. It's called consulting firm, and we're the temp agency. What does temp agency look for? They look for individual who what? Capable to do their job, right? Yes? Okay, so what we have, our agency, we do have Corporation 1, Corporation 2, 3, 4. I'll just go with 4 right now. Okay. Our temp agency, we have connections with all of these corporations. Okay. Now what we're looking for people who have a high FICO score. Okay. So what happened is this: we ask for this corporation, this consulting firm, and say, "Hey, do you have anyone that would like to work for our company, for one of this company?" So it's just a matter of fact, I do have one. Let's just call it Henry. This is Henry here. He works for his UA. Then what we do, we pre-qualify him for an temp agency. Okay. Then we said, oh, you know what? I think he's best to work for this corporation number 1 here. So what happens here? Henry now works here for this company, and then we apply. Corporation, by the way, already have excellent credit. Already have all the trade lines necessary for us to get funding. Minimum at least 250K, okay, on its own, okay. So we put in Henry here, and Henry becomes an FM, finance manager here. Anyone can see that from back there?
Yeah.
Okay. So Henry works for this company, and then this company we apply for loan. But Henry is a finance manager there. They need to have a live person, okay, to do that. So we apply for 250K. So what we've done is that, okay, we have 250K. By the way, those are our lines of credit. So we only use what we need. In this case right here, Henry gets 10% of that. Okay? So this 10%, that means for the first week of, let's say, October 1st. October 1st. Okay? And this is going to be October, November 15th. Because every 6 weeks. November 16th. And then this one's going to be February 1st. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then this is going to be March 15th. Okay? So, check this out, guys. So, Henry worked for our company here, and we get some funding of 250K, successful funding. We donate this 10% to, not to Henry, to his nonprofit. So, October 1st, he gets 25K, right? We donate that to the bank that he chooses, not to himself, to the bank. So that's 25K. And then what we do after that, then we hire Henry on this November 16th, right here. He's going to be an FM again. And this one right here is going to be, let's say, 350K. Folks, for the life of me, for the last 18 years, 20 years, I cannot predict what the bank's going to give me. It all depends on their mood. All depends on qualification. It all depends if a new underwriter comes on board or not. So let's just say 350. So that's he gets another 10%. Then we deposit that here. So November 16th, he gets what's that? 35K. Okay. And then on February 1st. Yeah, February 1st. It's January 30th.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we get, Henry also work here. Let's just say 40K, 400K. And by the way, so now he has 40K here on February 1st. 40K. Okay, we'll just stop right there for now. By the way, each of this company here, Henry's credit is not liable for any of these. He just work just like any employees would. Sir, where do you work? If you don't mind me asking. Where do you work?
Where do I work?
Yeah.
MTS.
MTS. So if you quit tomorrow, is the MTS bills going to follow you, or it's going to stay with MTS?
Stay with MTS.
That's correct. That's the same thing happened here. So the bills always follow the EIN of this corp. The EIN for this corp. Okay? So now, Henry, on the other hand, he gets his portion. The reason why it takes us 6 weeks to do to the next route is because we go to another source to clean up your inquiries. That's why. If the inquiries were removed like that in a week, then we would hire him right away. But because it takes that long, it takes 2 weeks to do the funding, another 3 weeks to do clean up the credit. That's why by the next time around, he's clean again. His FICO score is clean. His FICO score, by the way, is only for reference only. Okay? In a soft pull, that means on a hard pull, because he is a finance manager, like anything else. If you're a CPA for the firm, they will pull your credit, okay, for the company. So, and we just keep going, okay? But all of these funds right here doesn't go to you. It goes to this UA under Chase. Let's say you open up another bank account called US Bank. And you get an ATM here. This is where you go and get your gas. Let the UA work for you. You work for the UA. You just basically volunteer. Okay? So that's what that is. So you get 40, 75. So you're talking about 100 G's like in less than 4 months. Something like that. Okay? Now, but guys, this is realistic one unless, of course, the U.S. government stop printing money. Because the most underutilized asset that all of us have, including me, And there's no joke. There's no prejudice here. You could be old, young, as long as you're over 21 or 25. Everyone can get excellent credit. Everyone can be in this place right here. So if the debt is $50,000 in debt, but I can buy them for let's say $750 or $1,000, I would buy that exact debt, and I would put it in your Social Security number. Now I have a $50K that's paid in full because I paid it.
Oh, I see.
Is that what you said? This is all done legally, by the way.
Ah,
That's how collection agency works.
yeah. That's what they keep on selling and selling. That's what I seen the pattern on it.
Yeah. But when you do that, you got to understand what these are. These FICO score that you guys have, these credit, you don't want to mess this up. You want to use this like a goose that lays a golden egg. You want to keep doing this, this is what you get. You mess this up, this will not go.
You don't want to mess it up after you.
We will help.
Right?
We will help that. We will help that.
How much? I'm sorry. Who pays for cleaning up the credit?
What's that?
Who pays for
You
cleaning
guys
up
will
the
pay
credit?
that. I
And how
won't.
much is that?
That all depends because I don't do it. I just analyze, but I give it to them. So what happens is that you give me your login or your credit score.
Okay.
I get it, and then I give it to them. They analyze it within 24 to 48 hours, and then after that, they give me all the scores and say, okay, this is what she needs to do, this is what he needs to do, this is what he needs to do to get it done to your program. Now, once you do that, then I give it to you, and then it's up to you what you want to do with it. If you want to get it fixed, if you want to get it fixed, go ahead, and I'll arrange everything for you. And once they're done cleaning, they'll tell me, say, hey, this person's ready to go. Then I go, okay. Then we resume what we got. But if you already have excellent credit, we forget all that. We just go right through here.
Right away. Okay, well, I have one question. So after you do clean it up and everything, you're ready to go. How long the process it takes for you to get the money?
The money takes about 2 weeks. I would say 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
But first week we analyze. We just don't go and apply.
Oh,
We look at your credit.
Yeah.
We look at what banks to go with what your demographic is. Also, by the way, guys, a lot of banks they don't discriminate, but they do.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've been there. Okay, you have an American name, but you got an Asian name, but these are different things. I'm saying that in reality because that's fact. That's fact.
Okay.
So what I do, I take it to where my underwriter is Asian.
Yes.
So okay, that's how it works. Or if I have somebody that's white or Caucasian or a little black, I would do the same thing.
When it comes to screwing you, they don't discriminate at all.
They don't. You said it.
Become selected like a Henry is not free. How much will it cost to get selected? Become a Henry.
No, we don't bribe. No, sorry. No, we don't. If you have, let's say right now you show up with an excellent credit, then I would analyze that immediately. Again,
3 weeks you see.
I would analyze that immediately and talk to my funder and my underwriter the next day, and then we find out exactly where to put you, what corporation we need to put you.
How much does this cost to get selected?
None, zero.
Zero?
No, no fees. The only fees you really got to do if you have bad credit.
Bad credit.
Yeah, I'm not charging anything. A lot of people goes, oh, I'm going to charge you this much. I don't do that. You can ask them. We never do that.
Because you do that.
Yes, sir.
Just mentioned investing in
Man, I mean.
Yes.
You play that on your phone, you play that with the brokerage house. How do you do that?
I have both. And one of them I'm watching it here, live.
Okay, but
24, 5 days a week.
and you said it yields 20 to 30% annually.
No, a month.
A month?
Minimum 10%. But again, that's our thing. It's risky too. But you put in 50,000, 100,000. They don't accept like 10 grand or whatever. They go for big numbers. To us, to them, it's really nothing.
So actually, you fix it to that score, that 750. After you do the process with cleaning up with the credit, right?
Correct. But check this out, guys. You might have credit that's actually good, but we need to remove them. Like some of people that I've helped out here have a credit card that's maxed out, right? We're removing that from the report legally, because you can do that, remove them legally, so it's not part of your debt to ratio down here.
Good.
Okay, but you continue making payments.
Right.
It's not just going to show up.
Oh, I see.
Kind of thing. Okay, whatever's necessary. That's what I said. I don't know what they do, but I just seen their put circle. These are the ones that need to be removed, and they'll give me a price, and then you get it. Okay?
And they'll remove it. They'll take care of everything.
Yeah, they'll do the whole thing, sending out
You
letters,
get the
calling.
money.
They call the bank. They call your collection agent. They call everybody. Then if they don't receive
Must be very
anything.
good.
Yeah, that's what they do. But if they don't receive anything or any that type of feedback, then they go to big guns, which is contact the federal government and put their own report, and then boom, it clears up.
They know what they're doing.
Is there
Yeah.
approximate
They know
turnaround
what
time?
it is.
Approximate turnaround time?
I hate to say this, man, but sometimes it's like 3 weeks, sometimes it's like 3 months. But that cleans
That's not
up.
bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. But once you do that, though, this is the secret. Once you do that, leave it the way it is. Work for this company.
Yeah.
And just use that as your asset. That's now your asset.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can just stay home, do something else.
Right.
This is what the banking industry does not want you guys to know.
Right.
Yeah. In this room right here, seriously, you guys are privileged. So those people that actually invited you to come in and do that, they care about you guys. You know? So think about that. This one in itself, the UA part, is your asset protection. And this part right here is your money side of things.
To support the youth.
Yeah.
And Dennis has pointed out that at the end of their name, they have National Association. So they're associations, but they don't want us to be, obviously.
No. They want to do, but they don't want competition.
Exactly.
Right. If you look at Bank of America, NA.
Yes.
Chase Bank, NA. That's National Association.
when I met Dennis,
Surprise.
seriously, this is my private stuff with him. But when I met with him personally, he said, "What do you guys do?" I said, "I do UA." I said, "Man, my attorney charged me $35,000. I used to work for a bank as a president, and I would write a check, and I would have the second, the controller at the bottom. They sign it also, like $35K for that one little piece." So when I met him, I said, "I want to buy more," and from then on, we hooked up.
Wow.
So he does all of my stuff, all the people that I have. He goes to him, and they do that. Do all the cars. No, you just don't do one. And I tell this to people. I don't want you guys to use this UA for the purpose of. By the way, guys, if you guys want to get this one, I have it on. I have it scanned.
Okay.
So those guys want to do, just give it to Manang Lily, and then
Yeah.
I'll email Manang Lily, and then you guys can do that.
Yeah.
I have it.
Thank
it's
you.
all exactly like this.
Thank you.
To summarize this, you're like hacking the scammers? The bank scammers? You're hacking them.
No. We're actually doing what they're doing. This is what I'm saying with you guys, okay? They're running a totally different platform like you and I are. Totally different. They talk different lingo, but there's one thing remain though. Their system is solid. That means if they're rich and their kids are rich, they don't need to work. Their kids are rich. Without just on paper.
Yeah.
And all they do is tell them, go to this bank and you get it. You get the money that you need to open up a business. If you fail, it's okay. We have another bank. So what we're doing here is this. They are doing 100 miles an hour and we're doing 30 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because we're workforce, right? Supposedly. So what I do is I just open up your eyes, guys, and you say on the freeway, get on the freeway, exit the next exit, and come back around. That's all we're doing. You don't want to be like them. You like their system. You want to use their system because it's solid. You do not want to reinvent the wheel.
See, what Al is saying, you're using the laws that the banks are using to overcome the system. Just like the UAs, we're using just like karate. When the guy's coming running at you, you use his speed to flip him. Right? The guy comes at you, you flip him to
legally.
The associations, we do it all legally using the same rules that they have given us to overcome what they have put against us.
Wow.
And exactly. That's the reason why when we say, where are you going to put all this money? If I put it to you, sir,
Dennis.
Dennis also?
Yes.
Okay.
Right away.
Dennis, okay. If I put it to you, Dennis, guess what? Not only you liable for tax, this is just another topic we gotta do. And then we are liable. We don't
Right.
want that.
Right.
Okay, so what we do, we just give it to the UA and let the UA handle that on its own.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'd rather get 100% of something than 70% of part of that stuff goes to the IRS.
That's right.
Okay, we don't
Did
want
you say how much
Where do we
that
sign?
UA costs?
that all depends how old and stuff. You talk to Dennis about that.
When we start working.
Work that
I
out.
want to sign up.
I don't. Seriously, what I do, I just concentrate on this, and then but I do have some contacts too.
Blue pen.
Mm-hmm.
I signed it with blue pen, no black. Because it copies that and I learned from him.
And if you guys really have some really like cannot be fixed, cannot be revived credit, which is impossible. They can revive anything.
Wow.
But if you want another kind, we'll talk privately, and I ways to help you guys.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Two more questions. After that, I'm out.
One in the back.
One more question, sir, from my side. No offense meant, but why would you help anybody get into this, to start this business without any personal compensation to you?
Good question. Good question. Good question. Maybe I'll this time I share it.
Just discuss it.
Okay.
You say
I
part of it.
Spill the beans.
We have Hope Worldwide.org. This has been going on now since 2001. I support 9 different countries. From Laos, Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, India, part of India. I can't remember the other one. Bangladesh.
When you have it, I mean, how much money are you going to be able to spend it? If you
Honestly, I thought about this. You can ask Dennis about this, kid. My own human selfish way. It's like, I don't want to have all this
exactly.
headache. I do this myself, right?
Yeah.
But I realized that, what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? You have to be.
What's the point in that?
If we have the knowledge and we don't help the people who need the help,
Yeah. Wow,
we're as bad as the bankers.
We are blessed.
Right? And that's something I want to get out from.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
So again, guys, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. And everything goes to Lily because I can't handle all the phone calls. But those interested, let her know. Let Dennis know. And that's it. Okay. Thank you. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping the world too.
And how it can.
I'll do that. He can take it. I know he's going to be running away. So, does everybody know? Are you going to take? You're going to?
No, I'm still a little bit.
You're going to hang out a little bit. So he talked about the Bible, right? B-I-B-L-E. Does everybody know what the Bible stands for? So it's basic information before leaving Earth. Okay? Basic information before leaving Earth. So basic instructions before leaving Earth. Okay?
Basic information.
And since we were on the religious side, I want to tell you a story. There was an atheist. He was in the jungle. Okay? And he had forsaken, never said anything to God. And a big bear was coming, about ready to jump on him. And he goes, Lord, save me from the bear. And a voice comes in and says, you have forsaken me all your life, and now you call for me? He says, no, I want you to at least make the bear into a Christian. He says, okay, the bear's a Christian. And the bear goes on his knees and he goes, thank you, Lord, for this food I'm about to receive.
Oh my God! He was very religious.
Thank you, Lord, for the food I'm about to receive. Okay, so what we're going to do is take this knowledge, okay? Now, the reason why we put it in these sequences, so that you understand, first of all, we want to show you how to protect yourself. And now, he went through and showed you how to make some money, right? Now we're going to show you how to use a little bit of that money and pay off all your debts. House, car, mortgage, student loans, everything. Somewhere between 5 and 10 years. How many people would like to do that?
Ooh, I'm the number one right here.
Right? So, if we can show you how to pay off all your debts, see, it takes almost, if you bought a $400,000 home, it's going to take about another $340,000 in interest before you pay it off. But if you could pay it off in 5 to 7, maybe 10 years, then you can buy another house, and at the same time you had to pay off one house, you have 3 houses. And now you're going on your 4th and your 5th. So we're going to show you how to do that.
Okay.
So here's this program, and I don't have to say anything because it's all said right here.
What if you didn't have an emergency fund? What if you didn't have enough insurance? What if you didn't have enough savings? What if you had to wait in order to be able to invest? And what if you were just simply deep in debt? Well, what if I told you that we had the solution for all of those questions? According to a 2013 survey done by CNN Money, 64% of the workforce upon retirement will still be in debt. And 74% of those retirees will have never consulted with a financial planner. But what are you currently doing to get out of debt? Well, if you have a job that allows you to do overtime, that's one way of making money and throwing extra cash to your debt. Perhaps you might have the ability to work at multiple jobs. There's also debt settlement, and there's bankruptcy, which is something we don't want. But what we have is called a MAP. Now, the MAP is an acronym for Money Management Asset Program. MAP can guide you to systematically and effectively pay off all of your debts. And when we say all of your debts, we're talking about your mortgage, credit cards, car loan, plus your student loans. And all of these debts will disappear without you having to use any extra of your own money to do it. But first, let me tell you what the MAP is not. The MAP is not a biweekly program. The MAP does not do loan modification. You don't need to refinance your home. We don't do credit checks. And last but not least, we're not an MLM company. But let me ask a couple of other questions that need to be addressed. Number one, is the MAP legal? And the answer is yes. And the reason why is because everything that is needed to run the MAP is already available to you with your current banking institution. And I love this part. MAP simply revolutionizes the way that you currently manage your finances. Second question, do we have any access to your finances or bank account? And the answer is no. MAP simply allows you to be in complete control of your money at all times. So what's the American dream? Well, for most people, it's to be able to own your home one day. Now, this is a mortgage calculator from Bankrate.com, and we simply put in these numbers that you can do yourself just to make sure that these numbers are accurate. Let's say that that mortgage was $400,000. It was a 30-year term, and the interest rate was 4.5%. When you hit calculate, you'll find out that your mortgage is $2,026.74. That's principal and interest. Now here's that amortization schedule for that same $400,000 loan. And as we put here, here's the first payment. And where does the majority of your payments go for the first 7 years? Well, as you know, the majority of it goes to the bank with interest. So out of $2,026.74, only $526.74 is actually going down to your principal. And $1,500 of that is going to interest. Now, if you were to live in your home for 30 years, you'll find out that you were able to purchase that $400,000 home, but at the tune of having to pay almost $330,000 in interest alone. Let's say that you're in your brand new home and you are about to make your first monthly mortgage payment of $2,026. But let's also say that you had a cash windfall of $7,000. Now, instead of using that money to go on a trip to the Bahamas or buying a big screen TV, let's say that you used that $7,000 and you applied it to your first monthly mortgage payment. So instead of writing a check for $2,026, you're now writing a check for $9,026. The question is, what are the effects to your mortgage loan due to that one-time extra payment to principal? Well, right off the bat, on the very next month, your new principal loan balance from $400,000 is now down to $393 and change. Now remember, the interest after 30 years on a $400,000 loan is $330,000. But because the bank now has to recalculate the interest for $393,000 for the life of the loan, the amount of interest due is only $310,000, which means by making that one-time $7,000 principal-only payment, you were able to save almost $20,000 in future mortgage interest. So here's a question. If people could save $20,000 a month, and all they had to do was add an extra $7,000 in this scenario, why don't they do that every month? Well, the biggest reason is they don't have it. But if it were possible, and you could easily afford to make those extra payments to your principal, would you do it? So what you need is a MAP lock, a MAP line of credit. So how do you get a line of credit? Well, you can go to your bank and get a personal loan. You could use a credit card, and we just put here between $5,000 to $15,000. Or perhaps you can borrow from your 401k, a life insurance, or a savings account. Either way, you need to establish a line of credit. Now, I'm going to choose the worst possible way of getting a line of credit, which is the credit card. And the reason why is because of the high interest rate. It could be between 15 to 30%. Aristotle Onassis said, the secret of success is to know something that nobody else knows. So the secret of the MAP is what we do with that line of credit. We're going to ask you to treat your line of credit just like your primary checking account, which means we're going to ask you to pay all of your bills from that line of credit. And since we're talking about a credit card, we're asking you to pay your mortgage, your food, your utilities, your car, everything is coming from that line of credit. But because you're treating your credit card like your checking account, when you get your salary, we're going to ask you to send your full salary back to that line of credit. So let's get into some numbers here. Let's say that this family who owns that $400,000 home makes $7,000 monthly net income. But out of that net income of $7,000, let's say that $5,500 was going right out the door for their monthly living expenses. Once again, their mortgage, car, utilities, everything. Which simply leaves $1,500 discretionary income. Well, let's start off with that $15,000 line of credit. What are you going to do with that? Well, you have to pay all your monthly expenses, which we said was $5,500. But because MAP knows that you still have $9,500 available in your line of credit, MAP will suggest to take another $7,000 from that line of credit and send that money directly over to your mortgage company as a principal-only payment. At this point, you are lowering your equity on your home by $7,000 and you're saving $20,000 in future mortgage interest. But now you owe $12,500 on your credit card. Well, here comes your salary of $7,000. Where are we asking you to put that? Back to your line of credit. So at the end of that month, you have a remaining balance of $5,500 on your credit card. So let's review. You started with a credit card balance of $12,500. But after you sent your salary of $7,000 to the credit card company, you ended with a balance of $5,500. At this point, 3 out of 4 amazing things took place. The first thing, your $7,000 salary covered the monthly minimum payment on your credit card. The first amazing thing, your principal loan got lowered by $7,000. The second amazing thing, you were able to save $20,000 in future mortgage interest. And the third amazing thing, you know that $7,000 that you borrowed from your line of credit that helped you pay down your mortgage and save you $20,000 in future mortgage interest? You borrowed that $7,000 from your 15% credit card, 100% interest free. What would you say if I told you that you could own that $400,000 home in 15 years? Now, there are such things as 30-year mortgage and a 15-year mortgage. And the difference is, the 15-year mortgage, you have to almost double your monthly payments. But what if you could own this home in 15 years without you having to personally double your mortgage payments? Would you like that? Well, we can't do that. But using the map, this 30-year, $400,000 mortgage can be paid off in, and we said we can't do it in 15 years. We can do it in 9.7 years. And all without you having to work for those extra monthly payments. So, the total interest paid without the map on a $400,000 30-year mortgage is $330,000. But if you're on the map and you paid off your home in 9.7 years, the amount of interest that you actually spend is $99,000. And remember, that means you saved over $231,000 in interest, and you did all of this without having to use any extra of your own money to do it. So let's take a look at what 3 months being on the map looks like. It's January, and you have your $15,000 line of credit. But notice we put an asterisk there. And the reason why is because for this particular family situation who makes $7,000 net income for a $400,000 home, the map only needs a line of credit equal to your net income. So this family who makes $7,000 only needs a line of credit of $7,000. If your family only makes $5,000 net income, the map only needs $5,000 line of credit. But because the map is a complex algorithm, we can't explain how to pay off a $400,000 home in 9.7 years using only $7,000. So we had to up it to $15,000 just for this situation. So let's start with 15 grand. What are you going to do? Well, you have to pay all your monthly living expenses. There's your mortgage, your car, your utilities, and that comes out to $5,500. But because the map knows that you still have $9,500 available to you, MAP suggests that you take another $7,000 and send that over to your mortgage company as a principal-only payment. Now remember, when you make that principal-only payment, two things happen. Number one, you lower your principal by $7,000, and secondly, you save over $20,000 in future mortgage interest. But now you owe $12,500 on your credit card. But here comes your salary of $7,000. Where are we asking you to put that salary? That's right, back to your line of credit. So at the end of January, your balance on your credit card is $5,500. Now there are some people that will say, yeah, but you're going to get charged interest on that $5,500. Well, at 15%, the interest on $5,500 is only $68. Now, we don't even care about that $68 credit card finance charge, because remember, on this particular month, you also saved $20,000 in future mortgage interest. So let's float that $5,500 over to February. There's our balance from last month on our credit card. What are we going to do in February? Well, we have to pay all our monthly expenses, which is another $5,500. So at this point, you are now up to $11,000 on your credit card. But here comes your salary of $7,000, and where are we asking you to put that? That's right, back to your line of credit. So at the end of February, your balance on your credit card is down to $4,000. Now notice the map didn't ask you to make an extra payment this month, and that's because the map is geared to not making you overextend your line of credit at any time. So MAP just looked at your situation and said, you know what? Just let February be February. No extra payments anywhere. So let's go to March. We look at our credit card statement and we owe $4,000. Well, we have to pay all our bills for March though, which is another $5,500. So now we're up to $9,500 on our credit card. But here comes our salary of $7,000. And where do we put our salary? That's right, back to our line of credit. So at the end of March, our credit card balance is down to $2,500. At this point, MAP understands that if you had a $15,000 line of credit, you now have $12,500 available to you. So guess what? MAP is going to send you a text and an email telling you what you can do with that extra $12,500. So what would you think? How about sending another $7,000 over to your mortgage company as another principal-only payment? So, principal-only payments. In January, you paid $7,000 principal-only payment. And simply 2 months later, in March, you were able to send another $7,000. That means you were able to put $14,000 into your principal. That's $14,000 of equity, your cash. And remember this family who made $7,000 but their discretionary income was $1,500 a month? If that same family decided to use that $1,500 and send it over to their mortgage company as a principal-only payment, and they did it for 3 months, the most that family would have been able to send was $4,500. And yet, on the MAP, same family, same income, same debts, was able to put $14,000 into their principal. Remember how we mentioned that for the first 7 years, the majority of your payments is going to interest? Well, it would take 24 months of traditional payments to put $14,000 into your principal. And the MAP was able to do that in the first 3 months. So here's the amortization schedule between a $400,000 traditional loan versus the MAP. Remember, the banks are hoping that most people will move every 5 to 7 years so that they can get their chunk of the money and you have to start off from the beginning. Well, if you were using the MAP in the first 3 years and you sold your house, you would have $86,000 in equity, which means you could put a nice down payment on your new home and perhaps have a little savings from that. And yet, your next door neighbor who's not on the MAP, in 3 years, was only able to put $20,000 into their equity. If you were able to stay in your home for 5 years and you sold your house, you would have $170,000 in equity. That would be an amazing down payment for your new home, and you would have a substantial nest egg still left over. And yet, your next door neighbor who's not on the MAP has only put $35,000 into their equity. And finally, if you stayed in your home for 9.7 years, the MAP would have your $400,000 home paid off. And your next door neighbor, who's not on the MAP, has only put $80,000 into the equity. And they still have 20 years to go. By the time they finished paying off their one home after 30 years, you theoretically could have purchased 2 more homes. This man is Patrick Henry. In 1775, the British told the Americans, you can keep your guns, but hand over your ammunition. Well, the Virginians at that time went to Patrick Henry and said, Patrick, if we don't give the British our ammunition, it would be declaring war on the Queen. What do we do? And Patrick Henry then said these famous words, give me liberty or give me death. Well, we believe that if Patrick Henry were alive today, he would say, give me liberté or give me death.
So folks, what we're trying to get across to you is, number one, Al's showing you how to get some lines of credit and to get some money coming in on a regular basis. And if you could use that money to do the MAP program, what's it going to get you? Way ahead of the game, right? And when you get the credit from Al, not only are you going to be getting that credit and getting that extra money, you're also going to end up with an association. Rita, how did you finish up your bank? She opened a bank account today for Bank of America, right? Was he a nice guy?
Yeah.
Excellent, right? Would you believe she was supposed to be there at 5 o'clock, didn't come till 6:15 because she was stuck in traffic, okay? But he waited for her till 6:15. We opened the door for her and finished her bank account. That's what a nice guy he is.
That's rare. That's rare.
And see, the thing is, like he was telling me earlier, he says, Dennis, people go to other banks. They don't know how to open these association accounts.
Oh.
But he says, what happened, I got with him and his manager the first time he tried to open it, and the manager said, oh, we can't find it online. I said, here's how you do it. And I told them, I said, you cannot find this online. This is how you do it, and here's all the documentation. I said, you got a document, you got it certified by the state, you got an IRS document, what else do you need? And they said, okay, we'll open the account. And so now he knows how to do it step by step by step. You go in there, half an hour, he's done. And did he apply for credit for you or what? Yeah, see, he applied for credit already. Sure. Okay? So I've had people go in there and they had some really good credit score. They walk out with $15,000 to $17,000 line of credit. Now, you got to understand this. If you go and you get a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 line of credit at one bank, I go to the next bank and I go to the next bank and I got 3 lines of credit that I can work all in the same day. Okay? Now I can work with that money. To do what? To work the map and to get out of debt. You're working with OPM, other people's money. That's what you want to do.
That's what the banks do anyway.
Right. So, well, what we wanted you to learn is this. It's what we know. It's what, like he said, you know, you find something that nobody else knows, and nobody knew about associations. Nobody knew about the way you get the credit from there. Nobody knew about the Liberté program. We're going to show you how you can put them all together and make some real money. Now, I have one more thing. Unfortunately, we don't have the password to get on the net, so I can't show you a 12-minute video. But I'm going to tell you about a new device that, do you have the phone yet or what?
No, I don't.
Okay, but
Jim Craig has it.
Jim Craig,
Yeah.
okay. I have the phone and it's in my car.
Oh, boy.
But here's the deal. Everybody's got a cell phone, right?
Yes.
How much you paying a month on the average?
50.
40, 50, 60. I'm paying $160 for 2 phones. Okay? Guess what we have? We have a SIM card that'll fit into any unlocked phone, Apple or Android. It'll call 93 countries for free. 93 countries for free. Like Philippines is not included yet, but we have China, Vietnam, all of these other countries, okay? You can call 93 countries for free. You got unlimited talk, text, and data. Now the only thing about the data is that you get 100% speed till the end of this month for 2 gigabytes. After 2 gigabytes, they don't cut you off, they just slow it down 20 to 25%. At October 1st, it goes to 8 gigabytes, and they hope that by October 31st, it will be unlimited data as well. We are in the process of making a United States-made cell phone. It's a US-made cell phone that will have a massive, what's the largest SIM card? 256 megabytes of information that you can put on there. We're going to have one that's in excess, somewhere between 1 and 3 terabytes of information on your phone.
What?
And that phone will sell for around $600. And it will be commissioned. Right now, you get the service, 93 countries, going to be adding another 72 before too long. Country. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Get this, $300 one time for 9 years of service. No monthly payment for 9 years.
Is this 4G or 5G?
4G right now. Okay?
4G LTE.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Our technology, when it goes to 5G, we'll be able to grab it. Our technology is ahead of every other phone company.
Can we sell in other countries?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We can only sell in the United States.
You gotta
And
get
anybody,
yours first.
but
You gotta get yours first.
get yours first, get it over here, and once we have, we reach a certain plateau, then we're going to start opening up all the countries, and our phone that we have over here will work seamlessly in all the countries worldwide.
Do you get the same phone number or?
You can keep your same phone number. It will run you right now. Well, let me put it this way. I'm going to tell you right up front. So many people screwed up on switching their phone numbers that the companies that switch, they now charge us $108 to keep your own phone number. You got that going?
Yeah.
Is that big enough to where we can do that?
No, we'll hook it there.
Oh, we can hook it here, right? You got my
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
we
keep talking now. Let me just look at
Okay, so we're gonna watch a 12-minute. We're gonna watch a 12-minute thing.
Does it have internet?
Yeah, it has everything. Everything.
For free. Well, I mean, not for free, but $300?
Oh my God.
One time only. Yeah.
One time.
For the SIM card, the special SIM card.
And then they has to.
Yeah, you're gonna watch
special
this.
Telephone. Does it have
No,
to
you
be-
put your own telephone, but we've got phones. I've got a friend of mine found a phone for $80 on eBay. $90. Sorry, $90. Works great with this. It's a 5-inch. 5-inch. Yeah, all you need to do is put the SIM card in the back. Now, if you get their phone number, it's free. If you want to keep your own phone number, it's going to run you an extra $108. Okay? Are you on? Yeah. Okay.
This is the office or
It's
the
HDMI too.
business.
HDMI too.
Yeah, I gotta get one of these.
Yeah, keep talking for a second.
Go ahead. So he's getting this 12-minute video on. It's going to tell you all about it. And guess what? Right now, you can become an associate, very value-added reseller for an extra $249, and you can market it to all the people in the United States. You make $70 on each $300 sale, plus you will get from 91 cents to $70 a month on the one-time payment of $300.
Wow.
Okay, that's 108 months. Huh?
$71.
91 cents to $70 a month on the. But right now, I don't care about all of that. I think the 91 cents on 100 people, 1,000 people. You know, I've got already the first guy I signed up under me, top seller already. In the first 3 weeks, he sold 247 cars. He's the #1 seller already. Okay. Well, I've got that one guy. He's planning on selling 100,000 phone calls. I love that. Why? I get level 1, $3 on each one. That's $300,000 if he sells it. I have another gentleman in Florida. He's got 100,000 people in his organization. He's starting to market it. Okay? I got Jim and Lily. They're going to be marketing it.
Yes.
Right? So anybody who buys this has got 9 years of unlimited service for a one-time fee of $300, and if you want to keep your phone number,
We're all
$480.
millionaires now.
Yeah. So
We
you're
have a
helping you all
phone,
to generate income.
credit
To generate
card,
income and use it to pay off your debts and buy more houses. And then put them in associations and rent them out.
Hey, thank you for waking us up. It's about time, right? What is the paper to sign in?
Yeah,
I didn't see that on the website.
yeah, you won't get it in there. We know
Oh,
where.
yes.
What kind of telephone number?
I signed the other one.
They give you one in your area code. Yeah. So wherever you want it, if you want a New York area code, they'll give you. You want to say that I'm not here. Call me here or call me there. No, they're not. They're just talking regular phone. If there's a specialty thing, you have to pay extra for it. You can get an 800, but you have to pay extra. Gary, nice to see you after a long, long time.
How much extra do you pay for a 1-800 number?
I don't know. I used to be a long time ago. I used to buy them, you know, because people used to call me. I used to do credit repair, and people used to call me.
No, because I don't
You guys
call
should,
you more.
yeah, watch this 20-minute video. Yeah.
We'll have to send it to them. We couldn't get it to read. I don't know.
Huh?
Even though we get the internet, but it won't read on the screen. I thought you could get it to read up there. It's not.
It's not going in?
No.
No, you don't get internet.
No, we got internet now. I'm trying to log into my YouTube account because I have your video on my account, but it's not reading it.
In order for me to receive,
You could see the screen, you see HDMI.
because
It
you
worked.
know I have
What computer was used before?
And it didn't work on that?
No, it used on Gary's. You just showed Gary's presentation.
Yeah. Well, but Gary's is not on the internet. She's got it downloaded down there.
But we have internet, but it's not. Internet's not showing up there.
So
Anyway, we'll do it next time.
okay, we'll
I messed up
try
the
to get
channel,
the thing and show the video next time. Or we can, if you send the email, the link, I can send it to her and she can send it up.
Yeah,
so we get the special SIM card, right? We stick it in there.
It'll play right there.
And then we cancel our service with.
Yeah, wait till you get your SIM card and you switch your number, and then you can cancel your service.
Is there a list of phones that we can get that will work with the SIM card?
Yeah, I got a list of phones that from A to Z, all the phones that work with it.
How do you get a
I can give her that one special phone for $80, $90. It's a nice. It's about this size. Okay, 5-inch screen, and it's like that, and it's $90.
But right now it's only a 40 gigabytes, right? That's it.
I don't know how many gigabytes the SIM card holds.
What's the one that you were talking about, the phone, $80?
The phone, yeah. I can send the link to you. Yeah. He can give you the link.
Don't have hard drives in it. Your phone has the gigabytes, the hard drives.
So my phone with this, if I buy this
SIM card.
I won't be slowing my phone calls or slowing.
No, actually, let me show you. Let me show you the difference.
No, push it.
So it's too bad that we can't get it on here.
No, but we have it here.
Because I have all my kids are with my phone.
Is that your phone?
I need my phone in order for me to cancel.
Right. This is my phone sitting in my living room. 25.7 is the download speed. This is this phone from AT&T with one box sitting in my living room. This is the other phone, 39.6. Over 50% faster with 5 bars. Okay?
So when can I get that thing?
When can you get it? Go to my website and order it.
Oh, we
Go
don't
to
choose
my website.
we don't buy it from you guys.
Yeah, you need to give me your emails, then I can.
I'm gonna give you my email.
He'll send you the link.
Dennis, what's your phone number, Dennis?
619
619
571
571
7011.
7011.
One level lang pala siya. Right there.
I am going
This
to.
is email, his website, and
Wait.
Yeah, but just yeah. Are you ready to change your life?
You guys want to sell the service, you just $70 and we can create you a website like this. I mean, a YouTube video. With your own number, or you can create your own website.
But he's still
no.
Still the video was video is still 12 minutes. See?
that one you couldn't get on here?
It wouldn't read. I don't know why.
That's the right channel.
That's not right. The person doesn't know what they do.
Yeah. But they consulted with their
They still don't know what to do. Okay? I open it all over the country.
and then we went to the chase and then we will stay and no. They asked me what is the how do you get your income?
It's very disturbing now. This thing didn't read.
So chase them us down.
Kind of like two kids. So now it's people keeping it at their houses. They have to play around a lot.
We're not going to do forex trading. We're going to do in but then
I'm a minister.
Yeah, sure it is. So I have to break also. So if this bank in Valenzuela chase turn us down, the way she talked, you will another chase. They're going to have a record to show amazing yesterday, 2 days ago, I opened an account with the Bank of America. You're fine. That's what I'm saying.
What happened? She went to Bank of America and got in trouble. Put it right there.
One more. Henry doesn't like to go to the Bank of America. I said, I don't want to.
But they opened it.
Credit is in the time for many reasons. For many years, I haven't applied for anything for the past 15 years. Zero. When they look me up, it doesn't read good, it doesn't read bad. I'm like, I'm just not on, I don't appear.
No credit at all.
Right. Is that a good place to be or a bad place to be? Well, obviously it's a bad place.
You need to establish credit.
So how can that be done? Can I do this or I can't take it? I can't do anything with this?
You can't do anything. I mean, you can open the associations, but what needs
my
to
question,
be done?
my question can I get help here to establish my credit or no?
What you need, Al's the guy that you need to talk to. Okay? So get with Lily and have her get Al to contact you, and then Al will show you how to add lines of credit.
Al was the banker guy.
Right.
Okay. Get with Lily, you say.
Right. And he'll show you how to add lines of credit.
Okay. So it can be fixed.
Yeah. If you got people who've got good credit, just ask them to put you on.
No, forget that. That's like the loser way of doing it.
Ask them.
Last question. So I opened the Bank of America in Lebanon. Now I asked the small business consultant what to do paperwork for me. I said, can I open another account? He said, yes. Using the same name, my UA. You don't have to go to another bank. The same bank. You can open several accounts. So Henry did not know about this. So I have Henry talk to you. Henry, I told look, I said, I still owe you $1,000. I said, Henry agreed to pay for it, right? For using my credit. But Luke said that because you was not able to open the account to the two banks, so we did not able to, in other words, Henry is not ready to give me the money yet. So I can open the account.
I couldn't answer your phone because I was using my phone. It's recording and we're going to do the meeting.
No, I gave you the address. There's huge numbers on the building. We found the building. Yeah. I know, but now I can't. It's not accepting my password. It said I changed my password 15 days ago. So, but then I'm not sure what my password is. But do you have a YouTube channel? Your own?
No, I don't have a YouTube.
You need to get one, and then we'll put it on your YouTube channel. That's where it needs to be.
Right.
But right now, I must have changed my password 15 days ago, and every password I tried.
Can we go to Gmail? I can put it on Gmail. I can get it on my Gmail.
Yeah, but all problem is it's in my account and it's unlisted. Oh, you have it. That's right. The link, yeah. Go to, just log into your email. And the people here might want to see it still. And then we'll know what to do next week. We're a work in progress, obviously. I think we're going to get it. See, I sent him the link, so he's got it in his email account. But I couldn't get into my Gmail for some reason on my password.
You'll indirectly help you.
Okay, good. You paused the time. Yeah. Oh, you're not going to find it by search. It's unlisted, so that protects everybody. Well, that way, when you have your own video, then only you can send it out, and other people won't be finding our video and then signing up under us instead of you. So it'll protect you.
I want to sign up.
Good. Send him an email. You know Dennis. Yeah, just get with him. You know, Dennis, I almost need to unplug that HDMI because it's working so good. But keep going. You're going to find it. You can keep going. Oh, good.
After your brother fills you up with fear,
But
he'll fall out eventually.
But you know, you have a good credit. If you see that will help your personal.
You know what? Go to Liberty. When I tried to find this Liberty, I had trouble finding it.
You want to go to
Map Liberty or not? Map Liberty.
Ano yan? Waze?
Get rid of that E.
That's good. Yeah, you
These are the E, Liberty. No worries.
Are you setting up for the thing?
You wanted to fight earlier, yeah. Of course, we're trying to find.
Yeah, well,
Oh, they say we're closed, yeah.
Otherwise, you know. What's your name? L-I-T. Okay, Lita. Yeah. What's your phone number, Lita? 919-913-9305. And your name? My name is Gloria. I'm going to give you my information. Oh, yeah? Yes. Who broke you in here? My friend Lisa.
We got the video. Everybody, quiet.
What's the video? Gloria
Here's the video on the SIM card.
For 9 years. I want to share a little bit. The owner behind this company has 42 patents. He's simply a genius. We're going to be an industry game changer. That's going to happen very rapidly. You can see that this is going to be a disruptive opportunity for folks to realize that their cell phone bill can be eliminated with MCS in our new technology SIM card. So I'm going to share with you a little bit more information, and it's going to get very exciting for many of you. For many of you, maybe a little bit hard to believe, maybe a little bit of disbelief, but we're tapping into a telecom industry that is nearly $6 trillion around the globe to access mobile networks. And with 5 billion users, day-to-day use, we really want to go out there and capture some of this market share. So I'm going to explain to you how we're going to do that. And so let's move forward. We have this new kind of mobile service that's never been done before, it's never been seen before. We're talking about unlimited talk, text, and you get data. There's no contracts, no credit checks, no more monthly payments. The data continually increases that you have eventually to an unlimited amount. We're going to move forward with this being the case where it works on most unlocked GSM devices. What's unique about that is most of the networks out there, even around the globe, are GSM devices. There are some CDMAs, but again, if you have an unlocked device, typically that means that your phone is paid off and that you've had your carrier unlock it. In many cases, once that phone has been paid off, some of the carriers that you're currently with will automatically unlock it, or on your settings or your phone app with that carrier, you can unlock it yourself. Now, in some cases, you will need to call them. So let's move forward. This will work on many, many devices: Alcatels, Apples, Blackberries, the Google phones, the LG phones. It also work on your pads.
We can sneak it in there on the bottom left there.
People use as a instead of using their phone, they're using the device. This, as long as there's a SIM that fits into that device, customer service can help you find out if the settings will work with it. But for most of these devices, it works phenomenal. People are extremely happy, and so we have high quality calls. There's seamless coverage, automatically connects to the best local service in the area. This is actually a par above what you're used to. So I tell folks you're going to get equal or better service, but MCS utilizes the most effective towers that strategically are located around the country, which have already been tested, which have already been approved for our network, and that are compliant with all FCC regulatory requirements. So folks, this is real. This SIM is being used today by thousands of folks, and today they're very happy they do not have a cell phone bill. You also get, as another added feature, is unlimited calls and texting to over 92 countries and growing. This allows you to call mobile or landlines depending upon the country. Some countries have different infrastructures, so depending on that basis gives you that option. We'll go over some of that here in a moment. But unlimited calling to these countries around the globe and we're continuing expanding that each month, if you will. But here are some of the countries that you're able to call utilizing the MCS SIM card, all the way from the A's all the way to the Z's, if you will. You're talking all the way from Algeria to Brazil, all the way to China and Dominica and Romania and Russia and Singapore, through Spain and Switzerland, United Kingdom, all the way to Hong Kong and Germany, if you will, Italy, Japan, Mexico, and you can see the list. So see if your country or family that are in these countries are residing there, and you have that opportunity to speak with them through directly from your phone.
It's coming a long way. It's come a long way since last month, huh?
With that also, understanding, this is where people get shocked. This is a special one-time cost of only $300. Now, folks, if you remember, this covers you for 9 years of unlimited talk, text, you've got your data, you call hundreds of 92 countries plus growing. If you want this SIM, you pay $9.11 shipping and handling. At the same time, if you want to port your phone, or keep the same phone number, we will assign you a free number based on your open zip code. But if you want to keep your same phone number, it's only $48 to keep that number.
Sign up under mine.
Have what we call ported across. At the end, we've got unlimited talk, text, you've got data, you got free mobile hotspot, you get free voicemail, no roaming charges. You simply can turn it on roaming, no roaming charges, folks, no bill in the mail, no hidden fees, no monthly cell phone bill for 9 years. And so Wi-Fi is coming soon, but as you all may know, many of you already have Wi-Fi in your home. You have it at restaurants, and you have it at major locations around the country. You simply turn on your Wi-Fi, you'll use less of your data. So Wi-Fi is prevalent around the world, but we're coming out with our own feature as well. Now, with that also, here are some frequently asked questions that many folks have had, is this. Yes, we deliver clear calls, instant text, and text. Yes, you can get a replacement SIM card. If you, for whatever reason, lose your phone, get your SIM card destroyed, if you've already purchased one, it'll be in the system, and you'll be able to get a replacement for only $30. Yes, it will work on most GSM unlocked phones or tablets. Yes, you can unlock any GSM device with any carrier. And yes, the MCS US SIM card works in all areas of the U.S., and you can keep your same phone number. When you do include the voicemail, we do have live customer service to help activate you. And just with an 800 number, the support will guide you. We operate on the latest 4G network, and it's only $300 you pay during this offer. We're in this rollout, and so take advantage of it while you can. Eliminate that cell phone bill. Calculate what it will save you over the next 9 years, and you'll find that it is a value proposition that's hard to refuse. Here are some what people are saying here. Fantastic service, awesome customer service. I was traveling a couple weeks ago, and on the backside of a high mountain in Washington, I had a signal with others that were with me, did not have any service, but I'm very happy and elated that I don't have to pay another cell phone bill for 9 years. My SIM came last week. I called the customer service line, and boom, was in business with my new cell phone, and no more bills. I love it. On and on. These are happening every single day. Personal calls are coming into me, how grateful they are that I shared this with them, and I am as well, because now they get to enjoy that great savings. Make the change today, folks. You can decide to save thousands on this phone or your current phone and your bill. Get through the process of being in disbelief. We are in a game changer. I want you to realize, look at what's happened with companies like Uber, how they disrupted the market in the industry of service for taxis. Look at the industry of Airbnb for the hospitality industry, where it just revolutionized it. We right now at MCF Telecom are going to revolutionize and disrupt the telecom industry by simply helping folks understand that they can utilize their phone with no monthly fee, and by simply replacing that SIM card. And we have millions of folks to get this message out to, and it begins with you. You can simply connect with your carrier, find out if your phone is unlocked, verified as a GSM phone on the network. We can, and if not, many people have said, hey, if you have to replace your phone for a $60, $70, $80 phone, then do it, because it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. we have customer service activate those SIM cards once you've received it in the mail, and start unlimited free calling and texting and get your data right now. We also offer you folks a 9-day money-back guarantee after the activation. So we're here to help make sure that phone and that SIM card works for you and that provides you equal or better service than what you're used to. And at the same time, if we cannot fix it or make it work for you, we have an offer to give you a guarantee on that SIM card. So in most cases, you can also keep your current service while you're trying our amazing system. So I think the key part here is, folks, is that you come online, you order it. I have a website here. You know, what I like to say is out with the monthly cell phone bills and contracts, and in with the one-time MCS SIM card fee. No more cell phone bills for years, 9 years to be specific. We give you a 100% back guarantee. You can see that there's as an authorized reseller, I'm working to get the message out to folks like you. We have an opportunity here that to across the nation where we really want to go out and help people save on their monthly cell phone bill, and I call this a proof of participation. We've already completed all the process of verification and validation that the SIM card works. And again, we're in the mode of this disruptive technology. It's not too good to be true. When you look at what happens in this cell phone industry, how can MCS do this? Well, you have to understand that the cell phone companies are not really interested in giving you cell phone service. They're interested in mining your data.
Yep.
When you look
Big
at
data.
companies like Facebook, you look at companies like Twitter, you look at companies like Google, those folks are out there gathering information and reselling that out to the marketplace. Right. And the same thing is applying to these cell phone companies. And so the MCS has a way of generating some arrangements and agreements to also do the same thing. So thus passing on to the savings to you and not needing to collect on your monthly cell phone bill. And so the revenues that are generated are very simple to understand, but at the same time, the owner of this company wants to pass on that savings to you, and you can see that it creates an acquisition opportunity for us to gain traction around the world, because we will be expanding this across the globe. Currently, the SIM card is only available in the USA, although you can use that SIM card to call outside the USA, but very shortly, we'll be able to utilize this around the world. So with that, I want to thank you for listening to this, and have an awesome day. Again, order your SIM card today, and start saving you and your family money on your cell phone bill, and eliminate it. And let's start saving everybody money today. Have a great day. Thank you.
And if you want, we can make you a video of this. The guy that produced this spent a lot of money, so we'll split whatever small fee we have to charge. But we can put your phone number on that screen. You send those out. I would recommend you put it on YouTube unlisted. Then you're not competing with everybody else to have the same video, you know? So we can put your website, your email, and your phone number.
So we contact Dennis for that?
Yeah, you can contact him to sign up. But Dennis and I will be doing the video. It's his friend up in Oregon actually spent a lot of money putting this video together.
So we charge $50 to change all that information.
But,
we pay him 50% and he gets 50% because he's doing the work.
But in one sale, you'll more than pay for yourself.
Yeah.
So, for your cost.
Okay, I'll second.
How much for that?
$50 we'll do the video for you.
Okay, and the video. I'll second.
So call me. You got my name, my number, my email, everything. Right. And everybody shouldn't be buying the SIM.
This is operational now?
Oh yeah. I've had mine for 4 months. I call Australia. My friend from she calls Thailand. Oh yeah, they call you. Yeah.
I mean, using a local phone to call you.
They from there they can call you. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Just a regular phone number. How much charges on their side?
No charges on the outside.
Are you sure? It's a boring thing.
What's his
In
phone
the
number?
Philippines, to call outside, they have a certain fee.
Well, in Philippines, yes, we can call 3 countries right now. No charge. If they don't charge in those countries to call the U.S., then there will be no charge. Okay, but what we are going to be doing is once we have a certain plateau over here, then we're going to open all the other countries worldwide, and our phone will work automatically in every country.
What's going to happen to the...
They're dead.
You have data.
They're dead.
And last week, we're actually piggybacking on theirs, so if they die, then we die too.
No. We will have the tower.
And last week,
right now, nobody's going to go out of business with us. Okay, we're like Straight Talk, Metro, all of them. We're that small. These guys are big behemoths, right? When we get big, we will have our own towers. When they go out of business, we'll buy their towers.
You told us last week you got 7 sales a day now.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Vietnam is no problem. You can call. No, you can't call from there here. You can call from here to there.
At least not yet.
Unlimited calling.
It'll happen eventually. Don't worry.
If they have Wi-Fi.
It works on flip phones. It's a flip phone that you're gonna
Samsung.
You're gonna have not a lot of information you can't use, but you can make the calls.
We can give you
All he does is calls and text anyway.
Right. You got the call. You can do that.
Yes, $249.
And then you buy the SIM card for $1 each. You look at you get called with the backup.
Right now, you can order it from yourself. You still have to pay the $300. Then they'll give you a commission back of $70. Yeah. Yeah. But you do have to wait for your commission. At first they were just saying you can buy your first one at wholesale at $220, $230, but they want the upline to get the overrides too. Because they introduced it to give them a little credit. But you still get the big upfront credit. I mean commission.
Yes, so you become agent.
Yes. That's the way I'm doing it. Yeah. So I think it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we go open.
You know what? I don't know. Let me look. I have a.
And then when you
Let me show you something. See this one. You saw this
body work. That's what we're going to be doing. Service business. We're a service business. We're automobile body work.
I've working with PMP for a while.
We also do manage areas. In other words, some of our companies go to help.
This way, we couldn't say it. This way it works. I make money first for this thing.
So we want to save.
You pay back for what's illegal.
When they open it, I also want to get lines of credit for my business.
I wish you would.
Your income coming in and going out, and then when you do that, they'll give you lines of credit.
Okay, so it's no problem. Once you go in, pay, and then
But give them credit for bringing you here. So then when you bring people here, then you get over to me. Bring you.
For the mom.
Girl.
Tapos siya sa
Get a big building.
under the mom.
And then you go to 3 different bank accounts.
I did it.
Credit on all of those, so you might have
A good crowd tonight. Yeah. Exciting. Yeah, I had 4 or 5 guys show up. So, Well, in part because of Al, but I didn't know that you're going to have the health.
Yeah, I know.
What time should we tell them the meeting starts? 6:30 from now on? I tried to tell them 6:30, and everybody said, "Oh, we'll come at 7."
We can get 6.
Tell them
Yes,
6.
6, yeah.
Okay.
Because this the health they can do first.